Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. Good evening, everyone. We are from Good 7. Today, we are going to talk about exploring the use of a dual language assessment task to assess young English learners. But before that, allow me to introduce myself. My name is Dante Rahdian Maulana, alongside other group members. They are Shelvi Susanto, Muhammad Azka Rivaldi, Awang Muhammad Wildan Riyadi, and Sherin Bunga Permata. Without further ado, let's get straight into the first material.
The first material is introduction. In nowadays, there are so many young English learners who learn more than one language. From the beginning of their educational journey, students in dual language program are asked to mentally juggle more than one language at a time. So it is important to know how to assess them best of their language capabilities. Researchers have noted that in the case of dual language learners, it is important to note that cognitive, social, emotional, and physical development are impacted by second language development. The inability to understand and or use the language used in the classroom may impede the dual language learners' ability to demonstrate their true abilities. Tabor's 2008 also said when interpreting a child's performance, one must take the child's level of first and second language development into consideration. In the journal exploring the use of a dual language assessment task to assess young English learners by Daniel A. Guzman Orth, Alexis A. Lopez, and Florencia Tolentino 2019 examined the impact of dual language assessment tasks that allow young English learners to use their entire cadre of linguistic resources or language and nonverbal resources to obtain information about their emergent language abilities. Therefore, this journal gives young English language students learning and using both English and their home languages, and have had verified educational experience. Dual language assessment could provide information about these students' overall communication abilities. I think that's all for me. For the next presenter, please.
Alright, thank you very much, Sherin. The next section is the summary of the journal. The subject of this journal is about dual language assessment task for assessing the young English learners, of course. The writer are reporting 17 kindergarten Spanish-speaking English learners in the US interacted with the dual language assessment task. According to Maxwell, there is high-value linguistic diversity for children, families, and communities. The common practice to assess young ELS in the US measure based on a monolingual view of language, which language are treated as separate entities. The more appropriate language assessment is to assess the language skills of young ELS using assessment tools that allow them to use all their linguistic resources. And the purpose of the study was to develop a prototype dual language assessment task. The writer developed the dual language assessment task, or we can say it DLAT, with the intention that language teacher could use as additional tool complement the information collected by the ELP screener in order to help them make appropriate instructional decision to support the language development of young EL students. The sample, of course, from an urban school in the US. For the data collection, the researchers asked the student at the beginning of each question which language that they wanted to use to complete the task. Then the students' response will transcribe and rated according to the corresponding rubrics. All responses were independently rated twice by trained bilingual raters. They see three different patterns. The first one is students choose to speak only one language, English or Spanish. 8 students completed in only one language. The second is students use both language within a single response to complete some of the subtasks in the DLIT. 6 students use this pattern. Lastly, the third use resource associated with both language. However, instead of using resources from both languages within a single response, these students alternate between English and Spanish to engage with each of the subtasks in the DLIT. 4 students use non-verbal resources. Only one student provides a non-verbal response to answer one of the questions in the picture description part of the task. Overall, the writer's findings suggest that using assessment tasks like the DLIT could provide information about what a student is able to do at a functional level without restricting the language choice. Thank you very much. Next presenter, please.
Okay, let me introduce myself. My name is Awang Riyadi and my students number is 182 And in this occasion, I want to give the critique. This article is especially for exploring a dual language assessment task for young English learners. In this article, the writer adds literature review to clarify the problem under study. The literature review uses quotes from several previous research sources. The author also adds the explanation about their method in this article. And the writer describes the dual language like assessment task. The participants include they collect their data, how the procedures, and the data analysis. Overall, this article is quite good and meets the writing standards. The article reports the findings concerning how 17 kindergarten Spanish-speaking English learners in United States interacted with the dual language assessment task. Whether and how they use their language that are English and Spanish, and non-verbal there are body movement, gesture, gaze, visual cues, posture, drawing, sign, and resources, and what the researcher learned about their cross-linguistic emergent language abilities. Maybe enough from me. Thank you.
Thank you, Awang, for this critic section. Let me continue about this critic. All right. However, there are some things that in the method it is not explained in detail. In this article, there is no summary. It is better if the writers to add summary, to make a statement that give the most important information about this article. Because according to Virginia Kearney, 2011, the summary condenses a lot information into a small space. So summary is important to give some information about the article. All right, I think is enough. Thank you. The next material, the next conclusion will be presented by Shelvi.
Hello, my name is Shelvi Susanto and my student's number is 192122200 As the last presenter, I would like to convey the conclusion of this article review. In conclusion, this article could be counted as a reliable and good article because the contents of this article meet the standards of a good quality article. The good quality here means that this article focused on a topic and clearly understood by us or by the reader. Clarity is another important attribute, and it is all about conveying your message through clear and precise words. Also, some arguments in the article are supported by the statements of trusted researchers that made the arguments more reliable and can be justified. But even though the article is quite good, there are still some weaknesses that make the article is not as good as it should be. Such as in the method, it is not explained in detail and there is no summary in the article. It is better if the article has a detailed explanation of the method. It will make it better because method is one of the important aspects of an article that can help the readers of the article understand more about the topic of the article, and the summary also can make the article better because it's beneficial for the readers to restate or to remember the main parts or arguments of the article. That's all from me. Thank you so much.
Alright, thank you very much, everyone. This is the end of our presentation. Thank you so much for watching, and see you on the next topic. Wassalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh.